Leelah loves on Exhale Radio, Sounds of Generations. How do you exhale? I'm your host, Leelah Love, and in today's show, we are talking about the healing journey, y'all. We're talking about the process of self-exploration. We're talking about healing, becoming more enlightened, and basically getting closer to living your best life. But before we get started, I want to properly introduce myself to you guys, and I want to share what brought me to this platform. So I grew up in Flint, Michigan. Shout out to all the Flintstones. I grew up in a single parent home. By the time I came along, my mom and dad had split, divorced, all of that. So I graduated college with a bachelor's in psychology. Later, I earned an MBA. So, you know, my mom, who I love very much, you guys, she has passed on. And we'll talk about the healing that it took to get through that. But nevertheless, I have healed from that great loss of mine. My father, he will be 80 years old this year. And you know, we had a rocky start to our relationship, but thanks to this healing process that we about to get into, we are in such a good place now. I have a bunch of siblings. I got a ton of nieces and nephews, great nieces, nephews, and a handful of friends who I love and hold very close to my heart. I am a Leo woman, so you already know, period. Strong, fierce, amazing, you know, all the things that us Leos possess. But, you know, throughout my life, I've always been the friend who people would come to just to, you know, get some advice, just to kind of unpack things that they were going through. And even as a young girl, you know, before I became a woman, I was that person. You know, I always had the ability to kind of see both sides and give good sound advice. Very unbiased, super rational, except when it came to my own situation. That's when things got a little crazy. But anyway, they always seem to appreciate the feedback, and they seem to leave feeling better than when they entered. And for me, that was like so rewarding and so fulfilling. It gave me so much satisfaction to help the people that I love. Just to help people, period, like regardless. And that's really the goal of this radio show. I would love to share my experience to help inspire others and leave a really positive impression on you all. I don't know if anyone has ever thought about the healing journey. I know it probably sounds cliche or whatever, but it is a real thing, you guys. Once you really find yourself, you stop being so angry. You stop looking at situations and taking it personal, you know. And I really feel like this is my calling. Having gone through all of the things that I've gone through and being in this space now, I'm telling you, it is a real thing, and but it's a process, right? So we're gonna go over that. What steps I took. Now, I'm not saying there's not other routes you can go, but I feel that I have that firsthand knowledge, having gone through it, and I want to help anyone out there who may also be struggling, who may be feeling away, show you how to discover your powers. You have so many powers within you that once you heal from different traumas and different abuse, and you just discover yourself, right? It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about enjoying life to the fullest. So with that being said, let's get into this first song, Becoming.
Good job. Cool.
I'm good.
Good job. That's good. That's good. Take a deep breath. Don't feel like you gotta rush through it.
Okay.
Like, just relax. Like, just act like you're talking to.
Maybe I'll sit back.
Yeah, you can. Whatever. I'm moving the mic closer.
I feel like I'm like,
yeah, like that. Okay. I'll move the mic. I'll move the mic up if you want. Yeah, relax.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to The Real Spill with Leelah Loves on Exhale Radio, Sounds of Generations. Y'all, I had to get a little musical inspiration before we dive into this journey. So let's go. So my journey, guys, it started when I was just pretty much like, I don't want to live another year. I felt like I was recycling the same emotions, the same hurt, the same bad relationships, just with a different face, you know? And I'm like, I can't continue to do the same thing and expect different results. Because why? That is literally the definition of insanity. Okay? So I was just like, no. I was so resolved that I had to do something different. I was done being unhappy. I was done being unfulfilled. I was in my 40s. I'm like, okay, I've lived half of my life just unhappy. You know, not to say that every day was doom and gloom. That's not what I'm saying. But I wasn't happy in my job. I was just going to work to make some money, to pay some bills, to go back to work to make some money, right? Okay. I had relationships, but they were failing, right? They would start out good and then it would be the same thing. So I'm like, okay, there has to be something with me that I need to really tap into, because I felt like I wasn't living my full potential, you know? But the problem was, like, I knew it, but I didn't know how to access it, right? So, you know, I went the traditional education route. You know, I went and got 2 advanced degrees, okay? Not 1, but 2. And I was really working on the 3rd one, but that's a whole nother story. We can get into that later. But at any rate, you know, I went the marriage and children route. I was married 3 times. I had a child who I love very much. Shout out to my baby. So I'm like, there has to be something else. Like, I went through all the emotions, y'all. The why me, the self-pity. I'm crying, I'm praying, I'm trying to go to church. I'm trying to find some answers. I need some solutions. And I just felt like life was happening to me. I wasn't necessarily living. I was just going through the motions. So I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm determined. I'm going to do whatever. Well, not whatever, but you feel me. I was ready to move forward and, you know, getting me back, like figuring out what I wanted to do. I had really reached my breaking point. And, you know, for me, I knew that, like, I felt like I needed to do some unorthodox type of things, okay? I was at my breaking point, y'all. And I want y'all to just get into a couple more songs, and then we're gonna continue in with this. Okay.
Yeah, it's on.
Do y'all think I should have kept talking more?
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, so how you feeling?
Got time? Yeah, how you feeling?
Okay.
You got, yeah.
Cause I like the
Good.
songs. Like, I feel like these songs are kind of talking about
Help us to
what I'm
reinforce what
going
you're saying.
through, right? Like,
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. You're doing the messaging music, you know, based on what your conversations are. I get it.
yeah.
No, I get it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you can talk however long you need to. It's up to
Okay.
you. Yeah, it's all to you.
Was that bad though? Like, I couldn't come up.
No, because it was like you were really talking. It wasn't like you were reading or anything. So it's like you were speaking from your heart, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Your heart.
okay.
Yeah, from the heart. Yeah, well, you got somebody.
Look, what I'm talking about in the book, I'm still doing right now. Like, let me reread Now, what did it say?
That's funny. Yeah.
What's up? Welcome back, you guys. Yeah, these songs really help me. Like they're so inspirational. Like music is so healing, and it's meant to inspire. So, welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to The Real Spill with Leelah Loves on Exhale Radio, Sounds of Generations. So, guys, we're talking about the healing journey. We're talking about self-discovery, and thank God. I am literally in my 3rd trimester, guys, of this journey. Like, I have definitely come through some hard times. But once I decided enough was enough, I was like, you know what? I need to remove all distractions. Y'all, I basically went into hibernation. I didn't want to answer my phones. I didn't want to be around people. I just wanted to just go inside of myself, right? I was like, I need to be able to block out any noise so I can hear me giving me the latitude and longitude of where to find me, right? Like, I'm in there. It just was a matter of me getting to me. So I said, okay, let me start researching stuff. How do I do this? What is the steps? So, you know, I looked at a ton of self-help activities. So, you know, Google said to start journaling. Talked about different books you can read. Talked about meditation. It talked about yoga, breath work. Like, you name it, I was like, okay, where, how do I do it and where do I start? And so that's when I came across the book that we're going to talk about today. It's called The Overthinking Abyss by Christian Javois. I hope I said his name right, yeah. He's French. Javois. Okay, I think that was okay, I think that was better. All right, but you guys, let me just read something real quick that it says. It says, overthinking is often a result of our efforts at understanding who we really are. How did I get there? Is this who I really am? Why am I this kind of person? Why did these things happen to me? This is especially true when things do not seem to go well or as expected. And if you recall, your girl, things weren't going well for me. You feel me? Like, on the outside, seemingly, things were fine. Like, people was like, oh, you're so fun. And then, baby, 45 minutes later, I'm in somebody's bathroom crying. Like, full snot, all of it. You hear me? I mean, it was rough. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to binge read this book, y'all. This was like my new tool. You would have thought, like, I replaced my little pocket knife, because I wasn't going nowhere no more, with my book. Like, when I went to work, any breaks I took, I had my book. Went to the bathroom, I had my book. Went to the park, because I'm a nature lover. Outside of the bugs and the, you know, all the things that's in nature, I do like a good breeze. But, y'all, I read this book, I think within, I said I was going to do it in like a couple of days, but of course, I still had to take care of my responsibilities. So it took about a week. And y'all, just the name alone, right? The Overthinking Abyss. The Abyss. That means darkness. And that's literally where I felt I was. I don't care if the sun was shining on me. Certain thoughts would come in my head, and baby, you would think I'm in somebody's cave. Okay? So for me, I was like, I gotta hurry up. I need some light. Like, I'm melanated, baby. The sun. I need it. So I binge read this book. But let me share a couple of more things with you from this book that were really insightful and just so profound for me. So, first of all, more than 16 million Americans struggle with major depression. And that was back in 2014. So I just Googled it a couple of days ago. And last year we were at 21 million. 21. Okay. So, right? 21 million people, they're just hopeless and crippled with their depression. Oh my God. It also says, it's sad because most people who struggle with mental health issues, such as depression and anxiety, often overthink. It says there's a Yale professor, Dr. Susan Nolan Hoxima. She spent her whole life studying overthinking. And after all those years, she concluded that it was the surefire pathway to unhappiness. And even called it the secret to unhappiness. Okay? So, baby, who was about to stop overthinking? That would be me. Okay? I was just like, because that was my life. Like, I remember being a kid, y'all. A child crying. I would just be crying. And I know my siblings was like, what the hell is she crying about now? But I was literally, like, depression has been my imaginary friend. Right? That was who I talked to. I talked to my fucking depression. Okay? So, overthinking, you guys, it keeps you in a state of confusion. You're stressed out, you're anxious, you're depressed. So, how about this? Let's not do it. And I'm going to tell you how. And it's so simple. Oh my God, y'all going to be like, she played too much. But it's very simple. But before we get into that, let me just read one more thing. One more thing. Oh my God. Yeah. It says, be your own hero and stop waiting for other people to help you. And that right there reminded me of me looking for relationships. I felt like relationships were the answer, hence why I got married 3 times, okay? I was looking for these men to kind of help me, the void that I had from being in a single parent home. Yes, my father, I knew my father, but he wasn't present, right? So that did something to me. But it says, many of us are waiting for our heroes to sweep in and rescue us from our misery. Well, guess what? No one's coming, guys. It's up to you. Okay? Some of us are trapped by unjust social systems, unworthy jobs, and unhappy marriages. The book said it. And the book, did he know me? How did he know that this, okay, period. Also, it says, others are trapped by unseen powers like mediocrity, boredom, guilt, regret, a bugging feeling that they can do better. Some think things should be better and are plagued by anger, sadness, worry, and anxiety. Do y'all hear this? This is from the book, y'all, and I'm telling you, this was my life. So there's truth to it. Okay, so here's the thing. This is the last thing it said. It says, you have 2 options. You can either learn to love it and live with your circumstances, or you can gather enough courage to change your current situation. What? So baby, this right here, y'all, I don't know how y'all feeling out there. I don't know if any of this resonating with y'all. Like, I want to give you guys the opportunity to call in. If you want to, don't feel pressured. But the number to call in is 980-383-0008. I'm going to just put that out there. Because, reading this in this book, and clearly this was years ago, right? What did I say the statistics said? 2017, 2018? But at any rate, this was me before I even knew this was me. Okay? So let's hear what Kevin Ross got to say about overthinking, y'all. And we'll be right back. Sorry, guys. Y'all, I was up here dancing. Y'all, I be dancing. I'm a little out of breath, but we're about to get into it. If you're just joining us, welcome. So happy to have you. You are listening to The Real Spill with Leelah Loves on Exhale Radio, Sounds of Generations. Now, how do you exhale? Well, basically, I'm exhaling because your girl was, I'm exhaling and I'm sweating. But that's okay. Let's get back into it, y'all. We are exhaling to some healing today, okay? Exhaling to a better understanding of the process that it takes to go on, or really just to acknowledge if you need to go on a journey. Some people probably don't even need a journey. Maybe they just grew up and everything was fantastic. Well, kudos to you guys. That wasn't my story, okay? But earlier we talked about the importance, and the book even said it. You gotta silence the noise around you. There's noise mostly in your head. It's called overthinking, okay? So we have to stop doing that. And the Overthinking Abyss, you guys, it's an easy read. Just get it. Get it, and I promise you, it's gonna really open up. You're gonna have some aha moments for sure. And the fact that I read those few passages and really saw myself in every single word lets me know that this is a real thing, right? The thing you guys need to know about overthinking is that it takes practice, right? You're gonna think constantly. Your mind is created for that very reason, okay? So you're gonna constantly recall things, good things, bad things. You're gonna think about things, what happened last week, what should I do next week, what I'm gonna get from the grocery store. You're gonna constantly be at work thinking about shit, okay? So we don't wanna turn our brains off, okay? We love our brains, right guys, okay? We love it, but we just need to have better control. So remember I said I was gonna tell you how to do it. Let me tell you how simple it is. So when you find yourself thinking about a bunch of negative stuff, right? You just stop. The end. You literally acknowledge that you have these thoughts. Say to yourself, oh, I'm overthinking again. And then you stop. That's it. It's probably going to happen within the next 5 to 10 minutes when you just start. But repeat that. Oh, I'm doing it again. And then, say it with me guys, stop. Okay? You're going to just stop. Because the thing is, you have two things going on. You have two people. I ain't gonna say people, because it's you. But the positive thoughts, that's your ally. You can listen to your ally all day long because that's the big homie, right? But then you also have a parasite, and that's who's talking to you when all those negative thoughts and I remember when so and so did this and I'm so mad I can't wait to see them and and you hear what they say and you heard what they all that shit, baby, silence it. Just stop. And for me, I think it took maybe about 2 months of just constantly practicing this. It was a practice like all day long. Like I would wake up, y'all. My first thought would be some bullshit. Like why is this the first thought of the day? Why would I start my day with some negative dumbass shit that don't really matter? Like it really doesn't matter. And all I'm doing is creating my own chaos. So stop doing it. Acknowledge, stop, repeat. Period. And that's literally it. So just know, you know, don't say Leelah loves lied to me because I'm still overthinking. Guess what? A couple days ago I was overthinking because my brain worked. and I encourage it to, right? But when it happened, y'all, I reached out to my sister-in-law. We had a conversation, and within, I don't know, 10 minutes, I was back singing and dancing in my living room. Okay? So, that's the goal. That's the first step, I think, right? So this is that preliminary work that I think is going to be necessary for you to really go on this journey. You can't have all that noise going on when you're trying to find yourself. You're never going to find yourself. You're going to be drowned out by all of the foolishness. Okay? Anybody got some questions? I didn't hear the phone ring. Okay, so y'all all understand. I told you it was simple. Yes. All right, so let's carry on. So, for me, once I understood how to silence that noise, I had practiced it. I saw the results like, shit, who ain't overthinking? And it is me. I was ready, y'all. I was so freaking excited. Listen, I'm like, okay, now it's time for me to find my purpose. Because damn it, before I thought my purpose was to get married and have kids. Okay? That's what my mama did. You feel me? My mama got married. She had a bunch of us. And for me, as a child, that's what I was supposed to do. Yeah, I was supposed to graduate high school. I was supposed to go to college. But baby, I'm supposed to be somebody. Girlfriend, woman, wife. Okay? Girlfriend first, woman, and wife. That was my focus, y'all. I was a relationship whore. I wanted a relationship. I meet a guy, and within shit, baby, what we about to do? Where are we headed? Now, do you like the color blue and pink, or do you? We're picking out all kind of stuff, and it's like, wait, girl, calm down. And then, not to mention, y'all, I grew up off of 80s and 90s R&B love songs, right? You know, all the good ones. All the Keith Sweat, the Jodeci, R. Kelly, Joe Bird, Babyface, all of them, y'all. All of them. I'm thinking I'm about to make it last forever. Because that's what they lied to me and said in the songs was going to happen. But really, all they was doing was just getting me horny and giving me unrealistic expectations of love, okay? So that's how I started my journey, guys. Horny with unrealistic expectations. I mean, right? Okay, so, baby, where was my man at? That was my mission. I would go out and I'd be looking, baby. Is he? How about him? Oh, okay. Okay, maybe. Okay. So, not to mention, I told y'all I had some voids. I was emotionally broken, y'all. Like, not having an active father in your life, that does something to a girl. I know it does something to a boy, but when you're a girl, you crave that shit. It's like a void. Like, I needed it. I needs me a man. It was like my immediate gratification. Like, being in those relationships, I just felt good. Like, okay, ooh. All right, now I'm good. Then the shit break up, then it's, shit. Everything is just, baby, somebody come get me. Shit, and bring my next man when you come. Okay. Yeah, I was not thinking about me. I literally myself was look good, dress cute, so you can get you a man. So that's how I allowed myself to get lost. I was literally lost, y'all. Then once I got married for the first time, I had my son. Now my focus was that. Now I gotta be a wife and a mother, right? And then, okay, when that marriage ended, I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. I still got my son, so I'm still a mother. I still have this important title, this important mission, this thing I had to do was be a good mom. So for me, 18 years went by and my only focus, and I promise you, I got remarried a couple more times, but my focus was my son, right? And, you know, at the point where he got into high school, then y'all, I started panicking. I'm like, wait a minute, hold the phone. What am I about to do? Like, cause you know when kids get in high school, you know that it's the time. The timer is going off, or the timer is set for 4 years, and they're gonna leave. He's gonna leave the nest. So y'all, I started panicking. I was just like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? Who am I? And so that's how this kind of started too, right? Like I started panicking about that, like, and then my son, y'all, he didn't give me no warning. He came home like, yeah, Mom, I signed a lease. I'm like, well, what? You didn't consult me? You didn't? He like, yeah. So what you about to do? Baby, I'm about to cry and I'm about to be scared. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself because I literally did not know who I was. I mean, I knew my name, right? I knew my social security number, all of the basics, but who was I? What was I gonna do now? My focus, what was I gonna focus on, right? So that was my question. I was just like, who am I? Who am I? What am I? Who am I? I literally had to just breathe, eat, sleep with that question, y'all. And then, so then some other things happened, right? Like it was rough for me. It was rough trying to detach from that role, you know. I was very stressed out during that time. I remember just really feeling like, you know, I was sad, but I was stressed. It was all of the emotions together. Like it was pretty heavy for me. And so I just started getting into music a lot. Like I would just listen to music to try to calm myself. And then I found out from Psychology Today that there is a thing called music therapy, y'all. Music therapy enhances your mood. It relieves anxiety and stress. So I would wake up, turn the music on. You know, at one point when we moved from an apartment that didn't provide cable, maybe I don't need cable because I'm listening to music. That's where my heart was. That's what kept me calm. I was able to kind of woosah when all those feelings would start coming up. I would just turn on some music and it was almost like a distraction. So my thought process was, I started again, you know, so now I'm to myself. I'm thinking about me. I'm thinking about what do I love? What do I want? You know, what were all those lessons about? What were all those experiences for, right? So let's get into this Eric Roberson Lessons remix. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to continue. All right, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. You're listening to The Real Spill with Leelah Loves on Exhale Radio. Sounds of Generations. How do you exhale? Y'all exhaling out there? Yeah, how did y'all like that song? First of all the heartbreak. Okay, it led me down. Led me down and led me to you. Who? Me. That's what I went through, y'all. All of that heartbreak, all of those lessons, it led me to me. Okay? We're talking about life's journey. We're talking about finding your purpose. And according to Psychology Today, it says that our purpose is to evolve during our lifetime. And then good health, happiness, and longevity is the payoff. And so the more I thought about my purpose, the more I had more questions, y'all. Like, I was literally obsessed. What drives me? What makes me want to show up in the world? What motivates me? What legacy did I want to leave? You know, I started so many different projects. Just trying to find, is this what I like? Is this it? Is that it? The more I kept trying to discover myself, the more questions I had. Like, well, how will I know once I found my purpose? You know, will my purpose change throughout life? Am I on the right path? What am I passionate about? What is passion? You know, like, I just literally questioned everything, right? And I found out that passion is what excites me, right? My purpose is where my natural gifts and my core values come together. So then I have more questions. What were my natural gifts? What are my core values? Yeah, I was literally carrying around a little small notepad and a pen. You would have swore I was somebody's journalist. But I wanted to, when a thought came up, I wanted to be able to jot it down. So yeah, I had tons of sticky notes. I am a sticky note girl. Like, I love sticky notes. There's something about it. I don't know. Maybe it's, okay, anyway. So I would write down, like, throughout the day. I'm talking about from the moment my eyes open, I would start writing down stuff. And then at the end of the day, I would take all these sticky notes, get on my computer, because, you know, I am an analyst at heart, and I would just jot down all of the things that I wrote. Then from there, I look for trends, I look for themes, you know, I was my project, okay? I literally was a project. And that was kind of how I went about the self-discovery process, right? So do you guys out there, do y'all think about y'all purpose? Do y'all feel like y'all are, you know, living in your purpose? Or are you kind of the type that's like, yeah, whatever happens, happens, that's life. And it's really no right or wrong answer, right? Because I look at people who are just so carefree and nonchalant. I'm like, dang, y'all ain't got no care in the world. Y'all just out here just chilling, right? But that wasn't the route that I took. I literally wanted to know, like, I wanted to be who God created me to be, right? Because he didn't create me to just be somebody's damn woman and wife girlfriend. There has to be more to me. Although I am a wonderful woman, wife, girlfriend, but, you know, at the time, I just wasn't equipped with what I needed for me, right? So there's just something to be aware of, right? Just kind of think about it and just see. Is that something you need to, you know, maybe explore, right? And I know, so the cadence of the show, guys, I'm gonna be talking, but then I feel like some songs are kind of inspirational, so we'll cut into some songs. But do me a favor, the next set of songs that I play, I want y'all to dance. Okay? Because guess what? Not only is music therapy, but there's also a thing called dance therapy. And anybody that know me, anybody that's been out with me and music comes on, baby, if you want me to sit down, y'all gonna have to turn the music off, okay? Because I love it. It's just so good. So, Psychology Today. I did tell you I had a psychology degree, right? Okay, that's why. You know, I'm all about human behavior. I've always been interested in it. But at any rate, so Psychology Today says that dance therapy has been used for a wide variety of mental health disorders. Depression, there's that ugly word again. Eating disorders, PTSD, also the non-clinical stuff, like just regular old low self-esteem, okay? Body images, body image concerns, grief, things like that. People who struggle to express themselves. There's some people who don't know how to really verbally express themselves. They know how they're feeling, but they don't know how to, you know, find the right words to properly describe those feelings. So dance is a way that help people express themselves physically, okay? So listen, with that being said, I want y'all to get on up and dance with me.
I step out fresh, can't stop me, no. New day, new drip, new glow. Strike a new pose that the whole world knows. Oh, new pose. Camera flash in my face, click, click. High heels, walking like I own the place. Diamond on my wrist, lighting up the road. Leveling up, baby, watch me explode. New pose, every move's a flex. Brand new vibe, what you see is success. Step back, I'ma steal the show. Crown on my head and I let it go. Got my shades on tinted like midnight. Every step I take got the crowd in the spotlight. Designer bag swinging when I walk through the door. They ain't seen this shine, they gon' beg for more. From the city rooftop to the late night ride, I'm the headline moment you can't deny. Confidence tripping, yeah, I changed my clothes, but the real upgrade is my mind.
Sorry guys, oh my god, that was my fault. Because I wanted to turn the music on, get my boogie on. Apologies. Y'all gotta do better. But this is my first show, so y'all, you know, give me a little grace, okay? Don't make me go back into my darkest place. Not just laugh. But how y'all feeling out there? Did y'all get up and dance? I know y'all hear me breathing hard, so clearly I did. But y'all, so I'm gonna tell you about dance, okay? For me, when I was going through this process, well, I ain't gonna say that it's over, because I'm still, like I said, I'm in my 3rd trimester, okay? The baby is crowning, but, so, yeah, when I would feel those feelings creeping back, I would turn on some Afro beats, and baby, it's like within minutes, really within seconds, I'm feeling better. I'm over here like I'm back in the motherland, baby. I'm doing all kind of tribal dances. I don't know where they came from, but I was doing it. Do you hear me? And it would just calm me down. It would make me feel so much better. Just turning and twirling and throwing your hands up, whatever. And I know there's people who, like, I've encountered people who say they don't know how to dance. And if you are ambulatory, I think I said that right, then you do know how to dance, okay? The Lord blessed you with feet and legs and hands and arms. Move them, y'all. Get up and dance. I'm telling you, it makes such a difference. But anyway, just wanted to give you guys the phone number if you want to call in, have a discussion. The number is 980-383-0008. I want to hear from you. But until then, before we went into those songs, I mentioned a word that I want to touch on in more depth. Do y'all remember that word? Let's see. Who remember? I got $12,000 right now to the first person. I was like, because baby, I keep a stack of Monopoly money for that reason. Okay, who wants this money? Okay, who trying to get random? Okay, but anyway, no, for real. So the word I said was awareness, right? So you have to develop that. You have to be aware during this healing process, because how else are you going to be able to answer all of the questions that are needed to really uncover your true self? You know, questions like we went over earlier. What gets you energized? What makes you curious? What makes you feel alive, right? What makes you feel fulfilled? And I told you guys earlier, for me, now it's a lot, because Leelah loves a lot, okay? Which is kind of, you know, where the name came from, because during my exploration, that was the question. What do you love? So I'm like, Leelah loved this, Leelah loved that, and then I was like, oh, that's cute. So, okay, I know that was a sidebar, but anyway, back to the questions. You have to be aware, right? What are your core values? Because guess what? Your purpose is closely linked to your core values, okay? So just something for you guys to think about. Do you even know what your values are? Because a lot of us were given our values by our parents, and we just kind of continued on with that. And I'm saying that because that was me, right? It's called your domestication, and we're gonna go get into that on the next show. So make sure y'all come back next week. Every week, like I want to kind of baby step the process so that y'all get it, right? Like this right here, this first show is basically the setup. It's like all of the things you need to do. Like if you were gonna go run a marathon, you gotta condition, you gotta get yourself prepared for what you're gonna be embarking on, okay? So we talked about, you know, silencing the noise. We talked about being able to be aware of who you are, of, how do I want to say it? Because not be aware of who you are, but be aware of kind of pulling out the question, or pulling out the answers from the questions that you have to ask, okay? So hopefully you guys followed me with that. But for example, just some of my values that I have, right? And this has been one of my core values since I can remember. So I'm talking about single digit age. My mom used to always say, honey, oh no, she would say, baby pumpkin, do unto others as you want them to do unto you. That's the golden rule, y'all. And I literally live by that rule. That's why I've never been like a scammer. I've never been, you know, just an asshole. Because I don't want nobody being an asshole to me, right? So that's kind of why I got disappointed a lot. Because I felt like, hey, I'm doing unto you as I want you to do unto me. And people were like, well, fuck you. I'm going to do whatever I want to do to you. And that was that. But at any rate, what are some of your core values, right? So I'm like, got all the sticky notes. Then I turned to journaling because I felt like I reached a level where I wanted to now make more complete sentences. I have all these thoughts now. It's not just little sporadic ideas. Now I have more thoughts, and I'm journaling. I'm just writing all of the things, right? But then I was like, you know what? I'm tired of answering all these questions. So yeah, I told y'all I was desperate, right? I told y'all I'm a immediate gratifications type of woman. Like I want to see some results. Damn it. So what did I do? I went to my spiritual counselor. Okay, some people have spiritual counselors that they call pastors. Some people, you know, however you tap in. But see, for me, I went to what some would consider a voodoo priestess. Okay? Because it's closely linked to the African heritage. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want, you know, I just, that's the route I took, okay? And when I did that, and of course, whoever you seek out, even if, I mean, maybe you don't need to seek out someone, it helped me because I felt like I just wasn't sure if I was making the progress. I was writing down stuff, I'm journaling, but I didn't know what exactly to do with it, okay? So I went to someone that can kind of help counsel me on what this means or what should I be looking for, just kind of give me a little bit more reinforcement. But my point that I was going to say is just make sure you use discernment, because make sure you talk to people that you trust, because there are a lot of shady people out here who will see your vulnerability and who will take advantage. Like, it's sad, but that's just the world we live in. So definitely, whoever you seek out, use discernment, okay? Listen to that ally in your head, because that ally is going to be your protection. So if it sounds like, oh, no, what? Then baby, turn around and go the other way, okay? But yeah, like I said, for me, I wanted to go back to my roots. You know, what was my ancestors doing before we got, you know, shipped over here to this place? And what we was doing was voodoo, okay? So that's what I wanted. I wanted me some voodoo, baby, and I got it, okay? So we went through a process, and I'm not gonna say it on air just because, you know, it was a process that we did that was okay, it was voodoo, okay? If y'all want to know about it, maybe call in, maybe we'll talk about it. But yeah, we did that. But I left there with an assignment. And my assignment was for me to think about my earliest memories as a child. Like when I was maybe about 5, somewhere between 5 and 7. Because around that age, you're not in the world. You know, you haven't had a chance to get corrupted by society and, you know, everybody else's standards and this, that, and the other, everything. You didn't have all these influences. You just basically had your siblings, your parents, and your little friends. And they ain't no shit either. So everybody just walking around just free, just happy, just enjoying life, right? So that was my assignment. Who were you as a child? Okay? So y'all, I told y'all I was in my 40s when I started this process, right? So we talking about decades of memory that I now had to tap into. Yeah, it was hard. I ain't gonna even lie. It was hard. Oh my God, baby. I was like, let me see. Okay, when I was little, I used to eat now laters. Ooh, I used to, so should I be a professional candy eater? I used to love swinging in the park, and I used to play double dutch. I used to ride my bike real fast. Yeah, I was just like, I literally was like, I thought about everything, because I didn't know where that jewel was. Where was that nugget? What was it that I loved? What did I do? You know? And so y'all, if anybody's out there thinking about doing some self-discovery work, baby, hurry up. Stop what you're doing right now and grab you a sticky note and a pen and get to writing down who you were as a child. Around 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there, okay? And y'all, I'm telling you, I felt like I was back in college. Like I was so focused trying to recall who I was. I remember asking my siblings, I would call them like, y'all, what y'all remember me doing? And it was like, I remember you used to be dancing a lot and just playing. So I'm like, okay, thanks. Okay, so that was that. So I would write down everything. But one thing that I remember, one thing that was always in every memory down there, it was music. Like, I literally loved music, y'all. I listened to music when we were cleaning on the weekends. You know, you go skating every weekend. When I was just sitting outside on the porch talking to my friends, y'all. That used to be my thing. I was a phone talking to my friends type of girl, like, for hours. What? Baby, if that phone ringing, you gonna hear me running, because I know it gotta be for me, period. So, I'm like, okay, music was definitely there. So, I wrote that real big. Music. Okay. I didn't know where it was going, but I knew music had to be a part of it. Okay. So then I was like, oh, I remember I used to want to model. But y'all, let me tell y'all something. When I was in elementary, I think, maybe middle school. I don't think it was elementary. Went to the modeling little go-see or whatever they call it. And that lady was like, you're too short. You'll never be a model. I'm like, damn, how you gonna tell a kid that? I wish I knew who she was. I'm telling you, I would, yeah, I really wanted to model. Because I told y'all who was always cute, baby. Who hair was always done, baby. That was me, okay? And also, too, my granny used to always say, don't you ever leave out the house looking a mess. Because you don't know who you're going to run into. So I was like, you know, that has to be something. I used to sew. I used to, you know, so I'm thinking of all the things, writing it all down. Where do I go from here, y'all? But again, music, I knew music was there because it helped me. It helped me celebrate. It helped me mourn, exercise, chill, study, fuck, like everything. It was always there, right? So when people would ask me, and then that was the other thing, I was like trying to recall, what did I want to be when I grew up? You know how everybody asks little kids that, what you want to be when you grow up? And I never gave like I want to be a doctor or a lawyer or like an actual profession. I just always said I want to help people. Like I just always wanted to help people. And so that's why doing this show made so much sense to me, right? Because sharing my journey, that's gonna help inspire someone. And it already has. Like, so for me, once I started this, right, I would be talking to, you know, friends, family, things like that. And they would, you know, ask me different advice or different whatever. And now that I'm going through this and I have some books under my belt and I'm giving them feedback and I can see that it's helping them. I can see that they feel, you know, encouraged, or they're no longer sad, or they're able to move forward past whatever that situation was that they were going through. I'm like, you know what, this has to be my purpose, right? I need to do this on a bigger scale, you know, because I'm touching people, I'm making an impact, I can see it. Right? They're telling me, oh, I'm so happy I talked to you. Thank you. You know, different feedback like that. So I'm like, you know what? I need to take this over the radio. I need to take it, because this is like everywhere. Like, this is international. Period. So, the more people I can help, the better, y'all. Because when I look at the news, it just breaks my heart to see all of the chaos, all of the madness, right? All of these wars and bombs. Y'all, and I'm sensitive. If y'all know anything about a Leo woman, we are very passionate. And whatever we feel it hard, right? So I'm like, if I can help people heal, maybe people won't want to go and shoot up random folks and run their cars through crowds. Like, what? Like, you, come on. Like, people, it's a lot of people out here with mental health problems, okay? And if this, my story, my journey, you know, any insights from these books that we're gonna go over, if that can help, like next week, y'all, if y'all wanna pick this book up, I'm gonna give y'all a little sneak peek. It's called The Mastery of Self. And when I tell you to master yourself, when you can master yourself, when you can master yourself, you can basically handle whatever comes your way, right? That's not to say that bad things won't happen, but you'll be able to process it better, quicker, right? And still remain strong and optimistic. You can still have hope because you know your capability. Yeah, so-and-so might not like you, but you're still you. Yeah, you might get fired from a job. Well, that means you have another purpose. Like, you can then be in control, be more in control, right? And so again, that's why this show made sense. You know, I can listen to my music, I can inspire you guys, and of course, when the music is playing, your girl is dancing. So, anybody want to call in and holler at your girl? We on the last little stretch of this show now. Anybody? Okay. Again, the number is 980-383-0008. All right. So basically, this show just helps me bundle everything up in one dope experience. So yeah, make sure y'all tune in next week because we are talking about removing the parasites and amplifying your ally. We want to just shut that parasite down because it ain't going to go nowhere, right? It's still going to be there. But let's give them COVID, okay? We want to give him COVID, put the little mask on his mouth. Can we just go ahead and, put him on a ventilator? Okay, let's just shut the motherfucker down. Okay, and we want to amplify our ally because our ally is who we want to have those conversations with. Okay, we're going to talk about how to undomesticate and how to unattach ourselves from the things that keep us from being free. And what's so crazy is all of these things are in our grasp. Like, we literally have the power to change the trajectory of our life. And that's the super dope. That's amazing, right? So today's show, it was just about establishing the fundamentals of this journey, okay? So y'all have some homework to do for next week. I want you guys to really think about what we've discussed. If you want to pick up this book, I think you should, because overthinking is definitely a thing. Listen to what it says. It says, you are not alone in this. Studies show that a large percentage of the population overthink. And we now know that overthinking can manifest as rumination, or worrying about the future. And this often involves negative perspectives of past events and present moments. It does not matter where your negative thought patterns take you, present or future, but reframing your thoughts and turning them into positive ones is not a dream that is out of our reach. Okay? So we got a caller?
Yes.
Period. Let's go. Caller. Thank you so much for joining. You are talking to Leelah Loves. What's up?
Oh, you're not going to hear her. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Felicia, you're on. Go ahead.
Hi, Leelah Loves.
Hi.
I just want to say this is a very, just so impactful for me, and it sounds like you've done a lot of work on yourself and that you're inspired to help others, and so I really appreciate that. It takes a lot of courage to, share so much of yourself, but it's definitely helping me as well as others, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I literally have chills. Like I told you, that is so fulfilling. Like, that's how I know this is my purpose. Like, I literally feel like when people have that type of reaction and I'm able to help them in any way, that you're feeding me, and I'm so grateful for you calling in. Thank you so much.
Well, no, thank you, and you're doing a great job, so keep up this good work, and I look forward to tuning in next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Y'all, did y'all hear that? I literally have a little tear in my eye. I'm not even playing, y'all. Like, oh my God. Y'all, I'm going to tell you too. I'm going to tell you. When I went to that voodoo priestess, y'all. She told me, she said that my pain and the things that I've been through is like I'm supposed to share it. It's because at the time I think I was like trying to do some acting, and I'm trying to get on social media, just trying to share myself, like trying to show what I think my talents are, what I think I'm supposed to do. And she was like, yeah, that's not it. Like, you're supposed to be like on a platform and share your story. She was like, you are the product. And I'm like, me doing what? And she was like, just you. Like, you don't have to do anything. Just you, being an overcomer. I think that's what she said, that I've overcome so much stuff. And the fact that I still have love in my heart, and that I want to help people. And I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all might just have to get used to me crying a little bit, because it's so, it's my passion, y'all. Like, if y'all knew some of the things that I've gone through, and for me to be where I am right now, right, still with a lot of love in my heart, right, and the fact that I just, it's fulfilling. And I'm sorry, y'all, like, I am an emotional person, but that call just helped me, and it meant a lot, and it means that I am on the right track, right? I am walking in my purpose right now by being here and sharing this with you guys, and whew. Okay, so y'all, my hope is that each and every show that you leave feeling inspired, feeling encouraged, to move forward with your journey. And just know that it is never too late to start. It's never too late. And you owe it to yourself. You have superpowers beyond your beliefs. And I remember people would say that to me, and I would be like, but what does that even mean? What am I supposed to do? But all you have to do is look inside of you. It is literally inside of you. I I'm not even playing. And it sounds so cliche because I used to hear people say that junk. And I'm like, man, shut up. So stupid ass. But for real, the fact that that's exactly what it took for me, right? To remove all those negative thoughts, to remove all those destructive patterns of behavior. Yeah, the last time I had some alcohol, not to say, like I used to be drinking, but I was trying to just mask the pain. I used to drink it away. Yeah, I heard it. Okay. But now I don't even feel the need to do it. Yeah. So this is a real thing. This is freedom. You know, this is finding happiness, right? I used to take so many things so personal. And I remember my mama, when I was little, she used to be like, honey, everything isn't about you. And I'm like, what? The hell it ain't. Yes, it is about me, you know, but it really isn't, y'all. It's the things that we tell ourselves. So guess what? Like Oprah said, shout out to the big homie Oprah. She said, tell yourself a different story. Stop telling yourself these negative stories, right? I used to always say, my daddy wasn't around, so ain't nobody else gonna love me. That's a lie, because my daddy was around. He just wasn't around in the capacity that I felt he should be around. But he was around. He was doing the best that he could do and giving me the best love that he could give me. And I'm so grateful and thankful for this healing journey because I have my father, right? And I used to think I didn't. So, yeah, I hope this has touched you guys. I hope it's made a positive impact like my beautiful caller. Thank you. If you know anyone else who is struggling with their life or just, you know, feel stuck, please share this show. Let them know I'm on every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. y'all. And I'm just really looking forward to growing this initiative and being a vessel for positivity and hope. Okay? So on that note, Leelah loves you. And I'm gonna leave y'all with some dope songs. We got Mary, y'all know her life, baby, my life, baby. What? Okay, all right, y'all. Leelah loves you, and I'll see you back next Tuesday at 7.
What you should do? No, good job. That was excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent for the
Thank you
person
so
that got the
much.
door. That was great. Yeah, you're organized, structured. You timed it very well. Very good.
I did not want to cry.
No, very good.
This is Leelah Loves, host of The Real Spiel. Catch me every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. on Exhale Radio, Sounds of Generations. How do you exhale? And if you missed the live show, be sure to check out the rebroadcast on Spotify and Amazon Music.